today, what I wanted to talk about was something that came up recently, just in a conversation I was having with some friends of mine, and that is anxiety. And for me, I kind of lived my whole life and I didn't have what I would describe as anxiety. I didn't have that until I hit menopause. And when I hit menopause, I had this anxiety and overwhelm that happened to me. If you're new here, by the way, my name is Beverly, and this is a channel dedicated to fitness and health and wellness. And so if that interests you, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll be the first notified when I record another video. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that, about anxiety and kind of how that showed up for me when I hit menopause and, what I have done about it. And so I first noticed this feeling of just overwhelm and anxiety, and it would be like it wouldn't match whatever the situation was. Whatever it was that was happening, my feeling was so much more intense than what was actually happening. And I was like, what is going on with me? And I'm hard on myself a lot of times. And so I really kind of shamed myself about it, to be perfectly honest, where I would be thinking, why can't you just pull yourself together? Why can't you just get a handle on this? This isn't even that big of a deal. These are things that are not helpful to tell oneself. It's not helpful. But if I'm honest, that is what would go through my head, because I don't know, not like I have it together like that, but I don't know. I've been through some tough times in my life. And so these things that I was getting so upset over and feeling so anxious about, I felt like, based on other things that I've handled in the past, that I should be able to handle it better than I was. And so that was just very alarming. And it was also it was kind of a scary feeling, because I just oftentimes couldn't rein myself back in. And anxiety is a kind of a little reported symptom, can be a symptom of menopause. There are so many more. I've had other videos where I've talked about perimenopause or menopausal symptoms. And again, the kind of old standards are sort of a little bit moody is what I remember. And, a little bitchy and moody. And then of course the hot flashes. And the hot flashes wasn't really it for me. And mine was more than a little bit moody. I had this kind of these big emotions, anxiety being one of them, in work, in kind of day-to-day, just my day-to-day small things that I felt like these are normal things that I handle, normal instances, normal stressors. It was just kind of over the edge. Everything was sort of over the edge. And I didn't really understand what was happening. And in menopause, all of your hormones are all over the place. And in my case, my hormones had plummeted. And so I had my blood work done and all of that. And I kind of figured out where I was with a doctor. I had found a doctor who was helping me through it. And one of the things that helped me very much was HRT. I started hormone replacement therapy. At that time, I started on creams and progesterone tablets is what I did. And the creams, it took a while for it to kind of kick in, but I want to say maybe about 3 months. It's been a few years now, but I think it was about 3 months before it started kicking in, where I started feeling better and feeling, I guess, kind of more like I could manage my emotions. And then the other thing that really helped was the kind of exercise that I was doing at that time. I tried to do more yoga and Pilates exercises where it really focused on kind of your breath and calming yourself down, your breathing, and it was really focused breathing. That helped me immensely. And I still do yoga and Pilates, but at that time, I had really shifted to doing specifically and exclusively those exercises in order to help kind of calm my system. And then the other thing I did that's hand in hand with that I still do, is a meditation. And again, meditation is about kind of quieting your mind, or at least trying to quiet your mind. And so I started doing that, like just a 10-minute, I used the Calm app. and I would do like a 10-minute meditation. They're all about like 10 minutes that I would do in the morning before I even got out of bed. And that helped to kind of set my day. And this is the other thing I wanted to say about meditation, how helpful it is for just your emotions and your anxiety, is that even, I don't know if you've ever been doing a meditation and you just feel like, oh, I've got this, what they call like a monkey mind. I can't shut it off. I'm just thinking of everything I need to do in my day, and I'm trying to focus, and I'm trying to calm myself down, and my mind is still just very busy. But you stick with the meditation, you do it all the way through. And then like afterwards, you're like, did I really get anything out of that? But I still do it, right? Even when that feels like my experience where I don't feel like I'm calm within the meditation, where I feel like my mind is still very active. The interesting thing is, and it was an observation that I made that I said to my husband, is that even when I have those kinds of meditations, when I meditate consistently, like I do it every morning before I get out of bed, it does help manage my emotions. I notice that even though I'm thinking, well, I'm not really knocking it out of the park with these meditations, my mind still seems to be very active. And that's what people who are teachers of meditation, they'll tell you, is that you're building these little kind of, for lack of a better way of saying it, I'm not an expert, but for lack of a better way of saying it, kind of calming blocks. And so what I found in myself was that really cumulatively really made a difference for me over time. And so I just want to say that. So even when it feels like it's not working, where you just think like, I can't be still, and my mind is not shutting off, it does kind of incrementally build up. And ultimately what I found in myself is that it helped me over the long run. So I just wanted to record this little short video about that, because for me, when I went through menopause, and I said it in other videos, for me, it was a big, big emotional component that hit me. It wasn't really the physical, like sweating and all of it. That wasn't really my symptom. What was my symptom were my emotions, and anxiety was something that I picked up. Thanks, menopause. Anxiety was something that I picked up that I hadn't really had before in my life. And I still have it now, but I manage it better. The hormones help, the meditation helps, and then doing, exercise like yoga and Pilates that really helps you to focus on your breathing. That also helps. So if you have had similar experience, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you have any questions for me, please let me know. I'll do my best to answer. And I thank you so much for listening and spending time with me. And until next time, guys, take it easy.